New base plate for a new game. Alright, so recently I got an idea for a new game. Basically, it is a first-person shooter game, but with a permanent team system, so at the beginning of the game, you will pick the nation and class of your preference. Obviously, some people want to change that, so I'll be adding a profile system, so you're going to have 8 or 12 if you have the Game Pass. Combinations of classes and nations. Alright, now that you know what I'm making, let's get on with making it. So, I decided that to make this game look good, I had to use terrain. However, I instantly needed to check the documentation on terrain, because I've never tried to make a map that you can swap out with terrain. I've only used maps or sandstone when I used it. Either way, I picked it up pretty fast, and made the script to convert the maps that I would make before long. However, to make the maps convert into terrain, you need to make said maps, so that's what I did. I made a base plate and walls for it, and I added a hill before making the script to convert them. The script, after some small difficulties, worked perfectly fine. After making the script, I had to finish the map. This took about the rest of the week, so the rest of the video will be about building the map, basically. The first thing I did to improve the map was spread hills across the map that will be converted into terrain. After I did that, I made a forest. I will not be surprised if lag issues pop up later and the forest is to blame. Alright, explaining why the forest is super laggy. I put like 30 to 50 parts in each tree, as you're seeing right now. I put about like 30 to 50 parts, and the leaves are mesh parts with a lot of faces. I thought it would be a pretty heavy load, but the like 100 or so trees that I've made so far have been fine. After adding some trees to the walls, I spent over 3 hours over 2 days making an outpost model, which I personally think turned out to be my best build. And here's what it looked like after the next session of building. Now, if you're building, you need stuff to build with, so I went to Blender and made some models. I made a gun and a canteen. I didn't texture the gun, but I did texture the canteen. I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. Anyway, final result will be shown pretty quick here. See? It's a lot more detailed when you're actually looking at it anyway. So then I spammed it all over the shelves I had stored the aforementioned guns in. Pretty soon I was finished with the first version of the build. So I turned to the dev forums for feedback. I got some helpful suggestions. While waiting for such suggestions, I made the forest have a slightly better fit into the grassland and added some trees sporadically throughout the map and improved my part to terrain script. After some devs gave me some suggestions, I listened to them and added them to my game. After that, I didn't know what to do, and ended up flying around the map for a bit before getting the idea to add rocks to my map. So I scripted that and added the actual rocks to the map. After I finished adding the rocks and cleaning them up, I got the idea to add some large hills. So I added some large hills. It took a lot of building and tweaking to get perfectly right, and even now, it looks a bit off. After I finished the hill, I put a bunch of them around the map. Now, even after adding all these things, the map looked kind of empty, so I added wooden barriers and campsites all around the map. And here is the map in its current state. This took 5 days to make, and now I understand why people charge so much for big maps. Since this is a first-person shooter game, I'll have to create probably 6 or 7 more at the very least. The next 2 maps will be a forest map and a desert map, and after that, I don't know what I'll make. Anyway, tell me in the comments what I can improve on the map, and if you have any ideas, comment those too. I would love to hear your feedback. Alright, this is the end. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll be back in the next video.